First hear from Coach McCaffrey.
You know, I don't know if I've ever been more proud of a team than this group, how they worked and sacrificed and incredible unselfishness. But I have to say we played a tremendous team today, incredibly well-coached team who had a great year. And anything short of the effort that we put forth today, you know, we would not have won. So they were committed to the game plan, they were committed to each other, and there's no better feeling as a coach than to watch them celebrate the way they were able to celebrate after the game with a Big Ten championship.
Okay, we'll open it up to questions from the students. For the students, we'll go in the middle, second to last row.
Akeem Gillespie, Indy Star. Question for Tony. How's it feel to finally get a chance to celebrate on the Gainbridge court? I know your senior year was cut short because of COVID. To get a Big Ten title in this way, just how's it feel for you?
It feels good. Very emotional because I was supposed to get this same treatment my senior year of high school, but now I'm doing it at this type of level. It feels good, and yeah, I wouldn't want to be nowhere else.
Okay, far right.
Jordan, a lot's been made of it. You coming back for the 6th season. What does this mean to you now? Describe the emotions with these teammates and raising that trophy. It seems like almost a dream.
It really is a dream. You know, this is something, you know, individually wise, obviously, I wanted to do when I came to Iowa City. Everyone on the team was so committed this offseason, and we knew that we had something special here. You know, I love these guys. I love Coach. Everything that we've done has been the right way. And that's what makes it so perfect. You know, everyone here is committed to, you know, doing things the right way and understanding that, you know, we had one of the best players in the country, best players to ever go through Iowa to my left. And, you know, he just stepped up in huge moments throughout the whole season for us to get here. The guy to my right has just been phenomenal all year, stepped into the lineup and just gave everything he had these last 4 games. And I'm just beyond thankful to be in this position.
We'll continue in the middle.
Tom Kakert, Hawkeye Report. Hey, Keegan, what does it mean to be named Most Outstanding Player? You've had this kind of fairy tale year. What does it mean to have that honor now?
Yeah, for me, it's obviously a big individual honor, but I really couldn't have done this without my teammates believing in me. I mean, if you look back at it, like I've had to learn from a lot of guys last year, just what it takes to be great at this level, be good at this level, and guys, especially in this tournament, have just really had faith in me. I mean, that's all I could have asked for. And I take a bad shot, they tell me shoot the next one. I miss a shot, they tell me shoot the next one. And that's just the kind of team we are, the kind of guys we have in our locker room. So it's really it's a team trophy. It's not an individual one.
We'll continue here on the left in the front row.
Jordan, and if anybody else wants to answer as well, did you know on Thursday, coming in here, that you were going to win this tournament?
Well, obviously that's something that you have on your mind every time you step foot onto this kind of stage. You know, we're playing unbelievable basketball right now, and what makes this so special too is not only obviously Tony's from Indianapolis, or from Indiana. I don't know if you want
to. He's from the NAP.
The NAP. But there's so many Iowa kids on this team that, you know, put their blood, sweat, and tears into this jersey. You know, you think back to some of the lineups we had out there at points of the season, especially tonight. You know, there's 4 Metro kids out there on top of Tony, hometown kid here. And that's just really special. You don't see that too many times in college basketball. You have guys that are just committed to a school and continue to work for each other and want the best for everyone out there, no matter if you get subbed out or not. It's just an unbelievable team, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime team for sure.
Over here, to the right.
Brian Teague, Chicago State of Mind Sports. This question is for Keegan. In the last seconds of the game, I saw you, or I think you were mouthing, "Oh my God." What was kind of going through your mind during those moments?
I mean, it's kind of like everything just got put together for me. Just all the hard work that we put in, just the off season that it took to get here. Everything just kind of went all into one. I really couldn't believe it. We struggled earlier on this year a little bit, and now we're playing really well, and it was just a great feeling.
Going to far left, second row.
Josh Christensen, KWWL. Jordan, over to your left. Like you said, you came back for the 6th year, and I know that there's more that this team wants to do, but how much does it really do you think back with all what your brothers accomplished? Now, I mean, I ran into Matt yesterday. He says now you've accomplished more than what they ever did. I mean, what does that mean to you when you grew up with 3 older brothers and now what you're doing, the youngest brother right now?
Well, you can only imagine the type of pressure that was put on me coming out of high school. You know, my brothers all won a state title. You know, I was from a phenomenal high school, hometown kid, went to Iowa City. You know, all 3 of my brothers won a conference title. And I heard it every single day wherever I went, whether it's from my brothers or from reporters or from the troll on Twitter. You know, it's just nonstop for me. So it was a big deal for me to come here because Coach has always been about being level-headed, never too high, never too low. And I think that's been what's so important for myself these past, 5.5, 6 years is the fact I've been, going through a lot personally, obviously team-wise too. If you look back to our sophomore year, we weren't very good. And now to here, we've been through everything, adversity-wise, and now we're kind of living through the moment of a dream that we all dreamed about since we were little kids. And like I said, I'm just so happy for everyone part of this team, so happy for Coach. We've done everything, the right way, and so many great teammates.
Move to the second row in the middle.
Anyone can answer this question, but this was the 4th game in 4 days, but from the start, the team just seemed really locked in, diving for loose balls, getting 50-50 balls. How would you describe the energy and the effort that you played with today?
Tony?
I always try to set the tone and the energy at the beginning of the game and boost everybody's energy based off of defense and rebounding. So that's a big part of our team and what we do, and we like bringing energy because that's what gets us the leads and the wins.
We'll go to Alex in the middle on the left.
Hickey, Saturday tradition. This is for Keegan. You played 40 minutes. You guys played an extra game, yet last 8 minutes or so, you looked like the fresher team. What do you attribute that to?
I think for us, I feel like we're in better shape than a lot of teams. For me, I'm not gonna get tired. It's a championship game. I'm not tired at all. I can go home and rest tomorrow. I feel like all of our guys had the championship mindset tonight that soreness was out the window for us, and anything that was bugging us was thrown out the window, and we wanted to get the championship, and all of our guys bought into that, and we won.
Go to Chad in the front row.
I guess for Jordan and Keegan and Tony, whoever, what were the emotions like seeing your name on the screen as a 5 seed? All of a sudden, you play Thursday, you probably fly out Tuesday, I'm guessing. So, how much do you process the fact that you've got basically a Big Ten schedule here? 3-day prep for the NCAA tournament.
We'll start with Tony. He wasn't listening? All right, we'll go to Jordan.
It's just what the Big Ten Conference kind of set us up for. We played 20 conference games. A lot of days, we had it wasn't COVID, a weather cancellation. So we played a 1-day prep, and it was no problem for us. We have so many guys that are able to step up in big moments. Coach calls a lot of guys off the bench, and they're ready for their number to be called. I think that's what makes our team special because we have a lot of guys that can step up. Just look at tonight, Jelly stepped up huge, coming in, playing 10 minutes. And I think that's why our conditioning level is so well because some guys can play their butts off for 4 to 8 minute stretches, and then another line comes in, and it's been working for us. And this 3-day prep is honestly it's a nice rest because we've had 4 games in 4 days, so I don't think we'll be too worried about it.
Go third row in the middle.
Jordan, wanted to ask you about 2 of the biggest buckets of the game I thought were from Peyton Sanford, young guy jumping in there hitting 2 huge threes. What can you talk about his development and the importance of those shots?
Phenomenal player, another Iowa kid. Coach has made it an important value for him and his staff to get these Iowa kids here and change the culture of the Iowa program and the standards. He hit that first 3, and he was celebrating, and obviously there's still a lot of game left, and he looked to the bench, and after the game, or after he came back down the court, I was like, what are you doing? Why are you celebrating? You're going to hit another one. Get ready for your next shot. And the next possession, he hit another 3. And he just stepped up in big moments. He's been huge this entire season coming in. It's so hard for guys to come off the bench and provide, what he's been able to do. So you got to give a lot of credit for him, and not only him, all the other guys on the bench too.
Front row left.
Keegan, the defense, I think, would be qualify as the story of the day. The number of steals you had was 12 or 13. The number of your turnovers were few. They had 17 or 18. Where did this defensive performance come from, and what was the process coming in?
Yeah, I think for us, we stuck to our game plan really well. We forced them to be uncomfortable, and that was kind of what our goal was. And obviously, they rebound us by a lot, but we also turned them over a lot. So that kind of balanced itself out in itself, and I felt like all of our guys just were active and bought in. We held them to 66 points, and they're a really good offensive team. So that helped us win for sure.
Okay, we'll let the students go back to the locker room and celebrate. Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck in the dance. We'll continue on here with Coach McCaffrey. Please raise your hand, and reminder, please state your name and affiliation. We will start in the back corner on the right.
Yeah, Fran, after the game, big hug with Connor, emotions kind of pouring out. Describe that moment and what it meant to you.
It was, incredibly special. I had the same with Patrick. I had the same with, my wife and my daughter and my other son. I think back to, in the first time I ever took him on the road, and I remember we won it. We won the SoCon championship in 2001, and I'm holding Patrick. He was a year old, and had the net around his neck. It's been a long journey with them, going to tournaments and traveling with the team and then participating for the team. But to celebrate at this level together on this stage, it's really difficult to describe how awesome it was and how emotional it was.
Continue in the middle.
Hey, Fran. Just what were the key moments to you in today's game? What that kind of turned it for you guys?
Well, I think it was the start of the game. We were ready defensively. I mean, it's a tough team to defend. We wanted to do a better job on the glass than we did. We got out-rebounded, 48-30. So that's not something you're preparing to do. But if you're going to combat that, you better not turn the ball over. And you better disrupt them. Get them to miss shots, get them to turn it over. They had 17 turnovers, we had 6. We had 13 steals, they had 4. So that can balance out the size, disadvantage and enable us to get our break going. And we kept fresh bodies out there. I mean, the guys who came off the bench really contributed. We got a little foul trouble. I thought Josh Ogundele was spectacular. I'm so proud of him. Riley, he tried. He was in there mixing it. It was a good experience for him because he's going to be a good player down the road.
We'll go to the far right in the middle.
Me?
Yeah.
Fran, kind of a big picture to build off that first question you had. You're obviously not from Iowa, and I wonder what it's kind of been like for you to reestablish roots, and raise a family there and kind of become a different version of the same guy, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I think one of the things that Mr. Barda and I talk about all the time is, when he went looking for a coach, he wanted somebody who wanted to be here and wanted to represent the university, the state, but also someone who recognized and was aware of the tradition. I mean, there have been some unbelievable coaches and players that have come through here and had really strong teams, like long-standing winning teams, Hall of Fame coaches. And so whoever took this job had to take pride in that and had to understand it. And at the same time, he wanted the program run the right way, which we've done. Now, the family side of it, I had a young family, so that was an integral part of the decision. Okay, we're going to move across country, and we're going to raise our children basically in the state of Iowa. Well, anybody who's from there knows that that's pretty special. The people there are awesome. We were welcomed from day one. They had great experiences in elementary school, middle school, high school, athletically, made great friends. And then, they chose to come play for me. And I gave them the option to go somewhere else if they wanted to, but, they grew up basically in Carver Hawkeye Arena, so they wanted to play there. And they wanted to put that jersey on. So it's been an amazing ride for all of us, but that's why it was so emotional today.
Go to the front row, Chad.
Chad Lysico, Des Moines Register. Was there a moment this season where clearly the depth that you play with allows you to play fast, and today it really paid off? You played 12 guys in the first half. Was there a moment this season where just you saw things just kind of coming together, all the pieces as they are now? Because it seems like everybody has a role.
You know what, Chad? I really felt good about it early in the season. I think we all looked to, okay, I made the lineup change. And clearly that was important. It worked. It really established Tony, put the ball back in J-Bo's hands, and then Joe Toussaint was great coming off the bench, so everybody accepted their role. But I felt early on with the schedule that we put together, we played some pretty good teams. We played some teams we were supposed to beat. But you go on the road at Virginia and you win there. That tells you something. I thought even though we lost at Purdue without Keegan, I thought we established that, hey, this team's pretty special. We got some other guys that can really play. And that was, I think, important for our confidence. We won all those games we were supposed to win, and then won the ACC Big Ten matchup, and then played okay. But we lost a few games at the start of the season in the Big Ten. So I think we looked at, okay, who did we play? We played at Purdue and Illinois at home, two of the best teams in the country. How did we do? Well, we lost close games. So we knew we could get there, and we believed we could get there. And then as the season progressed, I think you saw that happen with everybody playing confidently and producing.
Back right-hand corner.
Coleman, KWWL, is this on? First of all, congratulations. 4 games in 4 days, a grueling test. And you talked about your bench, the fact that you had to play so many guys. And there were guys that played today that didn't play earlier in the tournament, but they play in the biggest game in the tournament. Not only you have to have trust in them, but also the guys out there playing have to have trust in them. And I mean, is that forged through practice, through, like you say, the preseason games and different opportunities for those guys to play?
Yeah, no question. I think my main responsibility as their coach is to develop each individual and get them to the point where they can play with supreme confidence. Understand and know your role. What are you coming in to do? Josh knew he was coming in to play 2 of the best post players in the country. And he knew he was going to have to move his feet. He knew he was going to have to be physical. He makes 2 huge buckets for us. And he played with ultimate energy and was one of the main reasons we won the game. Riley came in, tried to hold the fort down. He was a little overwhelmed, a little surprised when he shot the 3. I might have pointed that out to him. But that kid's going to be good, and he knows it. And I think it's an expectation that we have when we go to our bench. They read the scouting report. They go through the scouting report. Sometimes they're on the scout team. We'll ask them questions in preparation. How are we guarding this play? How are we guarding this action? If they do this, what are we doing? What are we working on offense? Make sure they understand the game plan. So when they go in, they're not confused. They're not tentative. They're coming in to impact the game. And clearly they did.
Second row in the middle.
Kennington Lloyd Smith III, Des Moines Register. Coach, kind of following up on that question, 4 games in 4 days. You talked yesterday about how much focus it takes for a team to make it this far. Now that you're the champions, how would you evaluate how your team to stay the course and the effort and energy that they played with today?
I mean, they couldn't have done it any better. I mean, and that's the truth. We're processing information rapidly when you're playing back to back to back to back. I mean, that's not easy to do because this league, as we all know, is incredibly challenging, but each team presents different challenges. Everybody plays differently. Everybody has different stars at different positions. All right, can you understand what we want to do to them and what we need to do defensively. Can we press them? Can we run on them? Can we execute our half-court offense? Are we going to run more sets or more motion? What are they going to run against us? Is it all ball screen action? Is it a transition team? Is it a team that's going to run the clock down? And how are they going to guard ball screens? How are they going to guard Bohannon? How are they going to guard Keegan Murray? All this stuff has to be absorbed, processed, and then executed. It's not okay to just do one without the other. So, masterful job by a very mature group.
Second to last row in the middle.
Coach, Akeem Gillespie, Indy Star. The players talked about kind of the passion and intensity that Tony plays with and how they kind of feed off of that. But what's allowed him to kind of come into his own of late? And what about his personality just kind of makes him play with that chip on his shoulder?
I wish I could say that it was something magical. I mean, I think you identified it. That's just who he is. It's one of the reasons we recruited him in the first place. I mean, he just comes after you. He is fearless. He plays both ends. He has an uncanny ability to make a mistake and come right back and do something really well. He's committed to winning. He's not selfish at all. And, you feel so great for everybody, but when you have a hometown kid win this Big Ten championship in his home state and right where he's from, and all of his family were here, I mean, I'm just so thrilled for him because he's a young guy with great character.
We have time for three more to far right.
Yeah, Fran, I'm Pat Hardy, Hawk fanatic. I mean, Purdue was obviously going out of its way to contain Jordan on the perimeter. How important was Sanford's perimeter offense, especially those back-to-back threes?
Yeah, I think really important. I mean, that kid, he's just a tremendous player. I mean, I think we recognize his shooting because he's such a good shooter, but he's a really good player. He rebounds, he can bring it down, he makes plays for other people, and he's fearless, but that's kind of the team we have. Patrick hits a big three. Joe Toussaint was so amazing in both halves. We kind of relied on Keegan, J-Bo, and Tony. Chris and Phillip were great, but they were in foul trouble. But they were phenomenal defensively, and they did what they could. Chris was aggressive offensively. But it's that kind of team. I go to Peyton, he produces. I go to Connor, he produces. I go to Joe, he produces. Go to Josh, he produces. And it doesn't always happen that way, as you know.
On the left side.
Alana Sims with the New York Times. Looking at how this tournament has unfolded as a whole, what does this say about this conference?
I think it just is an example of what this conference is and what it's been. The most difficult conference top to bottom. And like I said, not only is every team really good and really hard to beat, but every team is dramatically different. So I think that's what makes it exciting for the players, exciting for the people that are watching. And it's why we got so many teams in.
Wrap up in the far right.
Coach, this is Al Weatherspoon with Chicago State of Mind Sports. You play against two teams, Indiana, who try to beat you up on the inside. You go against Purdue, who try to do the same thing. How have you guys been able to overcome that obstacle there?
Well, we're going to run. We're going to get it and go. I think defensively, I think we were better today at going down and doubling and rotating than we were yesterday. Trace gave us a hard time, but I thought we did a better job today. Now, we didn't keep them off the glass. We got them to miss a few times, and they got a ton of offensive rebounds, but that's what they do. But I think that's our style of play. We turned them over, and then, I think our ability to execute offensively, in particular at crunch time, was crucial.